Let's take a look now at how we can create a camera inside of After Effects. Well, all you have to do is head over to the Layer menu and choose New, and then choose Camera. The Camera Settings dialog box appears, and here you can choose exactly the type of camera that you want to use. The first thing you can choose, of course, is the name of the camera. So you can call it, close-up camera, wide camera, whatever you need to call it. You can choose from a list of preset cameras, from 15mm all the way to 200mm. And of course, you can click here and you can name a preset that you create yourself. You can also choose between a 1-node camera and a 2-node camera. Now, a 1-node camera will orient around itself, and you have the ability to have a camera that works as if though you are using a point of interest, which is a 2-node camera. We can change the film size by using this hot text here. We can use this hot text to change our angle of view. We can adjust our view from the focal plane to the lens. You can change your focal length. And if you want to, you can also enable depth of field. Now, depth of field is pretty much like when you hold, let's say, a pen or your hand next to your eye, and then if you focus on your hand, the distance gets blurry. And if you focus on the background elements, your hand gets blurry. And you can enable that with this guy here. You can also choose your units, pixels, inches, or millimeters. You can choose your film size, horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. So as you can see, you can really tweak the settings to get the real-world camera feel that you're going for. Likewise, you can also choose your aperture if you want to. So you can go ahead and enable the depth of field, and you can choose your aperture. And the aperture is pretty much the size of the lens opening itself. You have the f-stop, and the f-stop is going to pretty much be the ratio of the focal length to the aperture. And you have your blur level, and this will give you a natural blur, and you can just go ahead and scrub that if you like. Once you create your camera, you click OK, and then you'll see here that we are in a 2D layer. Now, you have to remember that cameras are going to be used pretty much in two places: in a 3D layer, or when you're using the DigiEffects, which live in the effects menu right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new item. So I'll go ahead and create a solid and just throw it down here. I'll put this in a 3D view here. And I'm going to go to my views, and I'm going to change this. Let me go ahead and move this guy over from my active camera to a custom view. And then when I click on my camera, you can now see this box here that represents what the camera is looking at. And let me go ahead and grab my tools here, and I'm going to track, and I'll move this over. And this is the camera. So whatever this thing is looking at is represented by this box. So I can go ahead and grab my selection tool, and I can click on the camera, and I can move it around. And once again, whatever's in this plane here is what your camera is actually looking at. So I'm going to move it right here. And I'll go back to the views and go to active camera. And you'll notice now that we have this part moved down, because if you look at the custom view again, this part is all that's inside of this box. So that is how you can create a camera inside of After Effects for use on your 3D layers.